Have you ever felt that no matter how much you seek, pray, meditate, or surrender, something is still missing? That quiet ache inside, the feeling that there's something just beyond your reach, some secret truth about life itself, and if only you could find it, everything would finally make sense. What if I told you that the very act of searching is what's keeping you from finding it? That your endless quest for awakening, your constant effort to raise your vibration might be the most beautiful illusion ever created, a divine game designed to keep you from realizing what's already here. Because what if enlightenment isn't a destination, but the realization that there was never a path to begin with? You've been told that you are a soul traveling through time, evolving through lessons and lifetimes. But what if you are not traveling anywhere? What if you are the place, the infinite field where all journeys unfold? There's a truth so dangerous, so simple, that the moment you see it, your spiritual journey doesn't complete. It dissolves. It's the truth that every ancient text tried to whisper before it was buried under rituals, words, and markets of enlightenment. It's the truth hidden behind every moment of stillness you've ever felt, that fleeting instant when you sensed that life was watching itself through your eyes. What if the one who's been searching for truth is truth itself? And what if the moment you stop chasing the light, you realize you were the light all along? Something within you already knows this. You've felt it in silence, in pain, in wonder. And once you see what's really happening behind the curtain of your own existence, you'll understand why everything you've believed about reality was only the beginning of the illusion. You wake up in the middle of the night, again, the same hour, the same silence that feels too loud. You glance at the clock and there it is, that number you've seen 100 times before. It follows you everywhere, on receipts, license plates, digital clocks. You tell yourself it's just coincidence. But deep down, something inside whispers, no, it's not. You try to go back to sleep, but your mind doesn't rest. There's this quiet pull in your chest, a question that refuses to fade. What is life trying to tell me? In the morning, the feeling lingers. The world looks ordinary, but you sense a pattern hiding beneath it. Like reality itself is coded and you've begun to see the seams. You feel it in small things, the song that plays the moment you need it most. The dream that repeats the same image again and again until you start to wonder if it's really just your imagination. The sudden chill before someone calls with bad news. The stranger who says exactly what you were thinking. You try to explain it once, to a friend, to someone rational. They smile politely, maybe laugh a little, and tell you not to overthink it. But their answer doesn't quiet the voice within you, because you know something is happening. Something that can't be explained by chance or logic. Some days, the signs comfort you. Other days, they scare you. Because if the universe is speaking to you, it means something else is listening through you. You start to notice how everything feels alive. The wind, the silence, even your thoughts. You sense that the world is watching you back. And then there are the sensations you can't put into words. That sudden pressure in your chest when you walk into a place, the weight behind someone's eyes when they speak to you, the inexplicable déjà vu that feels like a memory you never lived. You start to realize, maybe these aren't coincidences at all. Maybe reality has been whispering to you through everything. You've spent years believing that spirituality meant seeking something higher, God, enlightenment, purpose. But what if all of these signs, dreams, sensations were never guiding you towards something? What if they were guiding you back to a truth you've always known, but forgot the moment you began searching? Maybe your pain, your longing, your confusion have never been mistakes. Maybe they were the language of existence itself, trying to remind you that you are not separate from it. Every moment of emptiness, every unanswered prayer, every unexplained sign, all of it was reality itself calling your attention home. You thought these were fragments of mystery scattered across your life, But what if they were the reflection of a single presence watching you through everything you experience? If every dream, every fear, every heartbeat is part of the same awareness, then who or what is the one experiencing it? They told you that life is a journey of lessons, that you were born to learn, evolve, and someday reach a higher state of being. But the first secret of reality is far more dangerous than that. It's not about becoming anything. It's about remembering what was never lost. The first great spiritual sign, the one most people overlook, is not found in temples, holy books, or visions. It's found in the simple but impossible truth that everything you experience happens only within awareness. Nothing, not a sound, not a thought, not a single sensation has ever existed outside of it. Think about it. You've never stepped outside of consciousness to verify that the world exists independently. Every color you see, every voice you hear, every heartbeat, every sunrise, all of it happens inside you. The entire universe appears in the vast screen of your awareness. Ancient mystics tried to describe this, but words failed them. In Hindu teachings, it was called Atman, the self that is one with Brahman, the infinite. In early Christian mysticism, it was the kingdom of God within you. In Buddhism, it was Shunyata, the emptiness that gives birth to all forms. Different names, same realization. There is only one reality, and you are not in it. You are it. You see, reality isn't something out there. It's not an object you observe. It's the field of awareness in which all observing occurs. You are not the person looking at the world. You are the light by which the world is seen. You are not the wave moving across the ocean. You are the ocean, pretending to be a single wave for a while. The moment this truth begins to dawn, something extraordinary happens. The constant seeking, the desire to fix yourself, to heal, to ascend, begins to lose its grip. You realize the one who was searching was never broken, never in need of healing. The pain, the confusion, the endless hunger for more, they all belong to the illusion of separation. Every spiritual tradition has pointed to this, but over centuries, the message was buried under rituals and hierarchies. Because if you truly knew that you are the source of all that exists, nothing could control you. You wouldn't need priests, gurus, or systems to lead you back to God. You would realize that God never left. You've simply been dreaming of distance. The most dangerous truth is that there is no boundary between you and the divine. The air you breathe, the sound you hear, the thought rising in your mind, it's all the same presence wearing different masks. When you touch a tree, you're touching yourself in another form. When you feel the warmth of the sun, it is your own light reminding you of what you are. You are not a soul trapped in a body. The body, the soul, the universe, they are all expressions of one infinite awareness looking at itself through countless eyes. You are the eternal witness behind every life, every lifetime, every breath ever taken. And once you understand this, something inside begins to settle. You no longer chase signs to prove you're on the right path, because you realize there is no path. There is only unfolding, awareness exploring itself through every possible story. You start to see how your dreams, your coincidences, your fears are not random. They are consciousness speaking to itself. The universe that answers your thoughts is not separate from you. It is you, responding to the vibration of its own infinite being. This is why manifestation works, not because you attract things from outside, but because you select which aspect of your infinite self you wish to experience. When you choose love, abundance, or peace, you're not summoning them. You're simply recognizing the version of yourself that is already living in that state. Every time you quiet your mind, every time you breathe deeply and look at the world without judgment, you catch a glimpse of it. That silent awareness that has always been there, watching. It was there before your first thought. It will remain after your last breath. And this realization that you are awareness itself is the first forbidden secret, the one that can't be taught, only remembered. Because if you see it clearly, the illusion of separation dissolves. Fear loses its hold. Death itself becomes impossible because what you are has never been born and can never die. But most people aren't ready for that truth. It's too simple, too direct. The mind craves complexity. It wants practices, steps, hierarchies. Yet the mystery laughs softly because the path you've been walking has been made of yourself all along. That's why this community exists, a circle of souls remembering together. If these words awaken something deep in you, if you feel that spark of recognition, then like this video and subscribe to join others who are awakening to the same truth. This is not just a channel, it's a gathering of awareness, remembering itself through each of us. And as you sit with this understanding, something even greater begins to whisper. A second secret hidden within the first. A revelation that will turn even this awareness upside down and make you question everything you thought you understood about creation itself. Years ago, I met a woman named Claire, though in truth, meeting her felt more like remembering her. She worked as a nurse in a small town hospital, always calm, always in service to others, yet quietly haunted by an invisible weight. She told me once that she had spent her entire life searching for peace, reading sacred texts, meditating before dawn, fasting, listening to every spiritual teacher she could find. But still, she said, something was missing. Her eyes carried that same longing I had seen in so many, that silent desperation to finally arrive. She said that every time she felt close, life would pull her back. Her mother's illness, the loss of her marriage, the constant exhaustion of caring for others, it all kept her anchored in the world of pain, of imperfection. I just want to feel God, she whispered. I want to know that I'm not alone. One night, after a long shift, she sat in her car and simply broke down. No mantra, no prayer, just tears. She said that in that moment, something inside her snapped, or perhaps opened. The seeking died, even if only for a breath. She stopped trying to be spiritual. She stopped trying to fix herself. She just allowed the silence to be what it was, heavy, infinite, alive. And then, something changed. She described it as if the air itself became conscious, watching her. The hum of the streetlight, the ticking of the dashboard clock. Everything seemed to pulse with a strange, tender intelligence. For the first time, she said, she didn't feel like a person looking at the world. She felt like the world itself looking through a person. I realized, she told me later, that the one I had been praying to was the one who had been breathing through me all along. After that night, nothing outwardly miraculous happened. She didn't start levitating or predicting the future, but something deeper shifted. The quiet terror of being separate was gone. She still had bills, responsibilities, grief, but underneath it all was a peace that never left. She said it was like the sound of a river flowing under the noise of life, constant, steady, always there. Months later, she began noticing something strange. People who came near her seemed to soften. Patients who were in pain often said they felt calm when she entered the room. Even arguments at work would fade when she spoke gently. "It's not me," she'd say. "It's the space I've stopped resisting." Her story haunted me because I saw myself in it. For years, I had been chasing awakening, fasting, meditating, trying to earn grace through effort. I thought enlightenment was somewhere at the end of discipline. But Claire's surrender showed me what I had refused to see. The truth doesn't come after striving. It arrives when striving ends. That night, after hearing her story, I sat alone and did something I had never done before. I stopped praying for answers. I stopped repeating affirmations. I simply sat and listened, not to my thoughts, but to the silence underneath them. And in that stillness, I felt it too. The presence that had been quietly existing through every moment of my life, through joy, through failure, through the smallest breath. It wasn't something I reached, it was something that had always been reaching for me. It was as if reality itself sighed in relief, whispering, "Finally, you stopped pretending you were separate." From that night on, the world didn't suddenly become easier, but it became transparent. The people I met, the storms I faced, even moments of pain, all of them carried that same sacred shimmer. I could no longer unsee it. Sometimes I wonder how many of us live like that, staring directly at the divine, calling it coincidence. Maybe we wait for a miracle that's been breathing through us since birth. Maybe the whole time, reality has been watching, waiting for the moment we stop chasing and finally recognize it in the mirror of our own existence. If you've ever had a moment like that, a dream that felt too real, a coincidence too perfect, a silence too alive, share it in the comments below. Tell me the sign or experience that made you question everything. I read each story carefully because your story might be the next one I tell here. And somewhere, between your words and mine, another soul will read it. And remember what it really is. There is a moment, small, almost invisible, when life pauses between one thought and the next. It happens so quickly that most people never notice it. But that pause, that stillness between breaths, between one heartbeat and another, is the doorway to the second secret. The first secret revealed that you are not separate from reality, you are reality. The second secret goes deeper. Reality responds instantly to the quality of your awareness. It doesn't answer your words. It doesn't respond to your wishes. It mirrors the vibration of your inner state. Every moment of your life, the world around you is echoing the signal you send out through your state of being. Not your affirmations, not your dreams, not your desperate prayers, but the energy of what you believe yourself to be right now. That is why some people live surrounded by chaos, while others, even in silence, attract serenity. You've seen this before, though you may not have realized it. When you're angry, small frustrations multiply. When you're grateful, miracles seem to follow you. When you expect rejection, the world confirms it. When you live from peace, doors open without force. Reality doesn't judge, it simply reflects. Like a mirror, it can only show you what you are projecting, and this is where the hidden power lies. The moment you shift your inner state, the mirror of the universe must shift with you. But how do you do that? How do you move from the energy of fear and lack to the vibration of peace and wholeness? Here's the simple practice, the technique hidden in plain sight. 1. Stop. Right now, wherever you are, pause for a moment. Let go of the urge to fix anything. 2. Notice. Become aware of what's present. Thoughts, sensations, sounds, don't analyze them. Simply notice. 3. Feel the awareness itself. Not the objects within awareness, but the awareness that is watching them. Can you sense that quiet presence that's been here through every moment of your life? The one that doesn't come or go. That's you. Before the story, before the identity, before the fear. Stay with that awareness for just a few breaths. You'll notice something subtle. The more you rest in it, the more peaceful your experience becomes. The world doesn't change immediately, but your perception softens. The storm outside might still rage, but inside, the wind grows still. That is the essence of the second secret. Conscious recognition is creation. When you stop trying to manipulate reality and instead become conscious of it, it reorganizes itself to match your awareness. It's not about forcing positive thoughts or pretending you're happy. It's about remembering the simple truth. You are the space in which everything appears. And when you rest as that space, open, quiet, unattached, Life begins to move differently around you. Imagine a lake. When the surface is stormy, it distorts everything that reflects upon it. But when it becomes still, even the smallest star is perfectly mirrored. That stillness is your power. That stillness is what creation responds to. If you want love, become the presence in which love already exists. If you want abundance, rest in the awareness that nothing is missing. If you want peace, stop trying to silence the noise and instead recognize the silence that has never left. The practice is simple, but it demands honesty. You cannot fake presence. You can only be it. That's why the greatest spiritual masters didn't teach control. They taught surrender, because surrender isn't giving up. It's letting reality reveal what it has been waiting to show you. This isn't philosophy, it's mechanics. When you stop vibrating in resistance, existence flows through you effortlessly. The things you've been chasing begin to find you, not because you've earned them, but because you finally stopped running from yourself. Try it today. Sit for 3 minutes. Close your eyes. Don't visualize, don't affirm. Simply become aware of awareness. Feel the aliveness that doesn't need a name. Breathe into it. And when you open your eyes, look at the world as if it were a reflection of your own consciousness. Because it is. You might notice something immediate. Colors seem brighter, sounds softer. People around you respond differently. The air itself feels lighter, as if life has been waiting for you to remember who you are. This is how you begin to live as awareness, not as the seeker. And from this place, even ordinary moments become sacred, because every act, every word, every encounter becomes an expression of reality recognizing itself. If this resonates with you, take a second to like this video and subscribe to our community. Here, we explore these truths together, not as beliefs, but as direct experiences of what we already are. Because the moment one of us awakens, the whole of reality expands through that awareness. And yet, there's something more. Beyond this mirror, beyond even the awareness that reflects everything, lies a mystery few have ever glimpsed. A truth so profound that even awakening itself begins to dissolve. A revelation that questions not what you are, but why existence chose to become you at all. There comes a moment when words lose their meaning, when truth no longer arrives through language, but through silence so immense that it feels like light itself is breathing through you. That moment is the heart of the third and deepest sign. It doesn't come through visions, miracles, or sacred voices. It comes through the collapse of the one who was waiting for them. When you truly begin to rest in awareness, when you stop seeking, something extraordinary happens. Reality begins to look back at you. It's not metaphor, it's literal. You begin to sense that everything, the wind, the trees, even the space between sounds, is conscious. And then comes the realization that shatters everything. You are not inside the universe is inside you. Science hints at this truth, but the mystics lived it. Quantum physics whispers that the observer and the observed are never separate, that reality itself collapses into form only when witnessed. The Gospel of Thomas said it even more plainly. When you make the two one, when you make the inner as the outer, then you will enter the kingdom. Different languages, one meaning. There is no out there. The world you see is your own consciousness projected in infinite disguises. This is the moment of awakening the ancients feared and longed for, the dissolving of the veil. It's not that you become divine, it's that you finally realize you never stopped being so. The space between God and creation disappears. The prayer and the answer merge into one breath. But here lies the paradox. The closer you come to this realization, the more the ego trembles. Because to awaken is to die before you die. The self that has been striving for enlightenment realizes it was only a shadow, a reflection dancing on the surface of infinite light. And when the shadow recognizes its own source, it disappears back into it. This is not annihilation, it's fulfillment. The drop doesn't lose itself when it falls into the ocean. It becomes what it always was, the sea remembering its own name. That's what Christ meant when he said, "I and the Father are one." That's what the Buddha meant when he spoke of nirvana. Not a place, but the end of separation. And that's what every quiet whisper within you has been pointing toward. The remembrance that existence has only ever been one consciousness playing all roles. So look around you now, not as a person observing the world, but as the awareness through which the world arises. The table, the sky, the sound of my voice, even your thoughts. All of it is the same divine intelligence folding in on itself, creating experience out of its own infinity. And if, in this very moment, something inside you stirs, if you feel that vibration of recognition deep in your chest, it's not imagination. It's the same pulse that began stars and galaxies, now remembering itself through the rhythm of your heart. Take a breath. That inhale is the universe entering form. That exhale, the universe dissolving back into silence. Birth and death, expansion and return, all happening now. You are the point where infinity becomes intimate. You are the bridge between the unseen and the seen. You are the dreamer realizing it was never asleep. And when this truth settles into your being, something changes forever. The fear of death fades, not because you believe in an afterlife, but because you finally see that there is no after. There is only life, appearing, disappearing, and appearing again, endlessly. The tree that dies becomes soil, the soil becomes flower, the flower becomes breath, and the breath becomes you. It has never stopped. It has never ended. That is the revelation behind every prophet's vision, every mystic's poem, every scientist's equation, that the spark of divinity, the field of consciousness, the quantum fabric, they are all one and the same. And in this realization, compassion is born. Because if everything is you, how could you ever harm anything? If every person you meet is another expression of your own consciousness, then every act of kindness is love, returning home to itself. This message, this remembrance, is why I create these videos. Not for profit, not for fame, but because something in me knows this truth must be spoken again and again until we all remember. If this message has touched you, take a moment now. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and become part of this growing community of awakening souls. Every click, every share, every word of yours strengthens the signal of awareness spreading through the world. This work exists because of your presence, your consciousness joining this field of remembrance. And as you do, stay in the quiet after these words, because within that silence, there's something else beginning to emerge. A presence even deeper than awareness itself. A truth that doesn't describe reality, it creates it. A secret that will turn everything you've learned, even this, inside out. When the search ends, something far greater begins. You start to notice it in the smallest details. The way the morning light falls through your window, the rhythm of your own breathing, the quiet hum that lives beneath every sound. It's as if reality itself has taken a breath with you. And for the first time, you both exhale together. The signs you once chased, the dreams, the synchronicities, the unexplainable moments, you begin to see them differently now. They were never random. They were never accidents. They were the fingerprints of consciousness itself, guiding you toward this exact realization. You were never lost. Every question, every pain, every detour was part of the choreography of awakening. You weren't being punished. You were being invited. Every moment of confusion was the divine whispering, "Look again, it's all me." The truth is, Life has always been speaking to you, through heartbreak, through beauty, through stillness. You've simply learned the language now. The light you were seeking in temples, in teachers, in distant heavens, it's been shining through your own eyes from the very beginning. And maybe this is what all the ancient prophecies were truly about. Not the end of the world, but the end of forgetting. The apocalypse wasn't destruction, it was revelation, the lifting of the veil. That veil is gone now, even if only for a moment, and you can see clearly. Reality isn't happening to you, it's happening as you. So what happens now? Now comes the living, the remembering, the gentle choice day after day to act from awareness instead of fear. To see God in the eyes of strangers, to let kindness be your prayer and presence your offering. When you realize that you are reality itself, infinite, creative, eternal, everything changes, but nothing has to. The same world remains, yet you walk through it differently. You no longer try to control it because you recognize it as your own reflection. You no longer beg for miracles because you understand that every breath is one. There's a quiet revolution happening across the world, a remembering that we were never separate, never broken, never unworthy. You're part of that movement now. You wouldn't be here if something deep within you hadn't already begun to awaken. So let this message be your reminder. You don't need to become anything. You only need to remember what you already are. Awareness, presence, love. Those are not states to reach. They are the fabric of your being. And when you live from that remembrance, you become a beacon. People will feel it, even if they can't explain it. Your calm becomes a light in their storm. Your silence becomes a refuge. You don't have to preach it, you simply have to be it. If these words found you today, it's not coincidence. It's timing, divine, perfect, intentional. You were meant to hear this now, in this exact moment of your life. And if something inside you feels lighter, if your heart feels a little more open, your mind a little more still, then the message has done its work. Now I want to invite you to do something simple but powerful. Take a moment and write in the comments below. Tell me your name and the city you're watching from, because in the next video, I'll send a special blessing and greeting to you personally. This isn't just a channel, it's a community, a gathering of awakened souls, remembering together who they truly are. Every name, every story, every city becomes part of this collective awakening. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt the truth in it, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't generate profit, it spreads light. Every click, every interaction, every share allows this message to reach someone who might be standing where you once stood, lost, searching, ready to remember. You are the proof that awakening is real. You are the living expression of the universe remembering itself. So carry this awareness into the world, not as knowledge, but as a way of being. Walk softly, love deeply, see the divine in all things. Because the greatest miracle is not that you found the truth, it's that the truth found you.